Mhm.
Yeah.
Hi, Katarina. I am so excited to be jumping on here with you and doing this interview to support women and men in getting clearer about the roles that we play in society as women and men and how to connect, especially now because, you know, things are shifting so fast. And I'm really excited to be talking to you about this because I know you have so much insight and wisdom in being able to connect to men and understanding women so deeply. And you're just the most incredible woman, and I love you so much and really excited to delve into this with you. So I'd love to hear what you'd like to share with the audience so they can get to know who you are and what you do in the world. So if you'd like to share a bit about who you are, I'd love to hear it.
Hello, Abby. Thank you so much for introduction of myself because it's so beautiful and I love you so much. Like, I remember the first moment we met, you know, like face to face actually, because we met once before, right? But like we didn't know much about each other. But then we met like right away and we lived together right away. And I loved like from the first moment, like I could feel your energy and how much you care about people and how much you care about women and you really want to help them to feel themselves so much. And it's incredible how devoted, is it the word devoted, how devoted you are, and like you give all your life just for this mission, like no matter what comes in, you're like, no, this is my mission, and if it's not aligned with this mission, like I'm done with this. And this is so incredible. I'm having goosebumps all over my body now. It's so incredible. And also how much wisdom you have and how can you see other people and how you are getting the messages from the universe. It's really something special and not everybody open themselves for this. And also I want to speak about the same subject, women and men, because I feel it's so important. And also like now we are all quarantined at home, right? And we all have time to think about ourselves and about who we want in our life and we don't want in our life, and if we should compromise or not. So maybe we can start some questions.
Yes, beautiful. Yeah. And thank you so much. That was so beautiful, so beautiful. And is there anything you want to share to the audience about who you are? Are you happy with what you've shared and you want to get going?
Yeah, I can. Well, I do yoga, as you know, and I do massages as well. That's how I feel I have got more connected to myself and to the people and how I can feel them, really. I can physically feel them. And also I like to help people to be more happy with themselves. To actually my mission, like your mission is to women and kids. My mission is to help people to connect to their heart and live from the heart space. Yeah. So I think it's a good combination for us to get together and to share this message.
Absolutely. And you're just such an inspiring woman, like honestly, like the way that you write, the way that you are in the world, the way that you see people, and you bring out the best in people. Like you really see people's greatness and you see them so much bigger than they can see themselves, men and women, and you just feel things so deeply. I just really admire and honor that about you. You really feel things that are happening in the world. You really feel people. And, you know, when people are around you, they connect to themselves and their hearts and how they feel. And that is such a gift because not everyone can do that and not everyone is tapped into that. So thank you for your medicine. It's so needed in this world.
Thank you so much. It means so much to me, and even the way you see me. It's wow. Thank you. And you know, we are all mirrors, so I appreciate so much. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
I would like to ask you about what does women really want? Because this is what you do, right? You have your group, you are teaching women how to connect to themselves, and you're in contact with them every single day. So I was thinking, what you got from it. Like, what do you think that women really want and what they want from men? You know, like basically if men is just like clueless how to get the woman he wants, what would you recommend? Is there any key for a woman, like, you know, some key he can open her, any woman he wants?
Such a great question. And yeah, from working with women and my own experience as well, I really feel that women want, first and foremost, like safety and stability. I feel like that is like the most important thing, first off, and on all the levels, like emotionally and mentally and physically, to feel safe. Because when a woman feels safe with a man, then she starts to open like a flower, and she may be protecting her heart. But when you feel safe with a man and he continues to be consistent in his energy and who he is, a woman will continue, she'll just open up. He won't even have to do anything or force her or try to do anything. It's just that when she feels safe in his presence, she just naturally starts to open up. And then she'll start to feel like turned on, because when there's safety and deep emotional connection, then that physical attraction goes deeper than just, you know, appearance, than just someone's body. And you start to feel that sexual connection as well. That's not superficial, but more of like, wow, we could create some magic together. So I feel safety is the most important thing on all the levels. And the women that I work with, you know, are women that are very aware of themselves, and business owners, mothers, women that are on this journey of evolution. So I know that these women really want men who are connected to their purpose as well. That's a big one. And it's
actually a big turn on, right?
It's such a turn on. It's the biggest turn on. Yes, because it's like a man that's connected to his purpose is clear in who he is, and he has this confidence about himself because he knows what he's here to do and he's doing it, and that makes a woman feel safe. And yeah, it's such a turn on. It's such a turn on because
because like if you have the first one you said, to make her feel safe, which I also believe is like number one, but then it can turn into just like friendship, right?
Yes.
But the number two, it actually brings the spark in it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so a man that's connected to his purpose has this certainty about him, and if he can go out and make big impact in the world, or just whatever it is that he does, then he can bring that into her life and into the bedroom as well. Because whatever he's doing with his purpose, like, it's going to ripple out into every area of his life. So if he's not connected to his purpose and who he is, it's going to be really challenging to be able to connect to a woman. And I know all the people that watch this interview, we're talking about, you know, men and women that are on the journey of growth and evolution and consciousness. So we're talking about that kind of connection, conscious relationships. That's really what I feel we're both very passionate about. Not the old school type of relating where this is the man's role and this is the woman's role. No. No.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I also believe that like we need to, as a women, not need to, but like if you really tap into, like, you need to have the femininity and he needs to have the masculinity, right? Otherwise it doesn't really work well.
The polarity. Yep.
Polarity,
yes, absolutely. And I feel like you embody that so beautifully. And a challenge
right back.
A challenge that I've had in past relationships is I've stepped into my masculine energy quite a bit, and they ended up in their feminine, and then it just felt a bit weird. And something that's been a challenge for me is like, naturally I'm very, very feminine, but when I'm ovulating, because I follow my cycle, and when I'm on mission mode, I'm in a very strong masculine energy. And a lot of men have been really turned off or threatened by that part of me. And I've had to explain to them only recently, just with friends, that male friends, that my inner masculine has been created, and my warrior has been forged from all the things I've had to face in my life, like all of the trauma, all of the abuse, and all of the things I went through, all of the injustice. So my inner masculine is very strong, and he's very protective and really fierce when it comes to innocent people and the sacred. So he's very protective. And something I've had to understand is, and I'd love to hear what you have to say about this. What do we do as a woman when we're in a relationship with a man? And there's those times where we are in our masculine, because of course we can't be in our feminine like 100% of the time, but that is our natural energy state that we're going to be in. But what about those times where the man is a little bit in his masculine and we're a little bit in our feminine? How can we navigate that?
How can we navigate? Well, firstly, I would say like he needs to be in his masculine, right? So maybe not like 24/7. Like there are good times when he needs to bring his feminine inside and up, inside, from inside to out, right? And we really value that when it happens in the right moment. But if he keeps being in his feminine side, of course, this brings our masculine side up, because we need to balance it, right?
Yes.
And if he is in his feminine, we bring our masculine, and he get upset about it, that we are masculine, and we don't make him feel as a man. I see it as like we just did what we needed to do for it to work, right?
Yeah.
It's just like our nature. And this happened to me in the past as well, when I brought my masculine, because I felt like I don't have my rock next to me. You know, somebody needs to be strong.
Yeah.
And if it's not you, then it needs to be me. And I'm not happy with that. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. But somebody needs to be strong, right? Of course, it never works. It always finishes because I'm not happy, he's not happy, and it's done. Like we can talk about it. The way how to communicate is actually just voice it. You know, I can voice it. I can say I'm not happy in this way. Like I need my man. I'm not man. I'm happy to be my feminine. I enjoy my femininity, and I need to be supported in it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And if I'm not supported, well, this is not the life I want. And it's just like conscious choices, like where I feel not supported, where I need to be, where I need someone really strong for me to soften.
Thank you so
What
much
do you
for
think
sharing
about
that. Yeah, you articulated that so powerfully, and I relate to all of that. Yes, because when that safety is there, and that strength is there from the masculine, we naturally just soften. We naturally can just be in our feminine, because we know that they've got us and they've got themselves, no matter what's going on. Yeah.
Right. And also I feel like, because it depends who you find, right? But we do the work. We actually like found out both our sides. So we can easily jump from one to the other when it's needed. But at the same time, I'm questioning if we are able to do it with man who is not as much aware of himself yet. You know, like we can teach him, we can explain to him, but it depends how much patience we have. No, to me personally, not so much. But I admire any woman who does, really.
Yeah, me too. I haven't got that much patience.
Just inside jokes.
So yeah.
Oh, also, I wanted to ask you, what do you think, like, when we talk about it right now? So when the woman jumps into her masculinity. Okay, I don't want to be honest. Like, there are women who has a problem to get pregnant, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about it? Do you think it's because they are too much in their masculinity, they are not feeling safe? Or do you believe in past lives? Or what do you think it could be the reason, one of the reasons, of course there's many, what could be one of the reasons in the energetical field why they cannot get pregnant?
Wow, such a great question. I always wonder about this, and to me, there's like not a definite answer. There's so many things. I definitely feel one of them could be that yes, a woman is, in her masculine energy. So when we stay in our masculine energy as women, there is this kind of sometimes a pushing and a forcing to make something happen instead of surrendering, opening, and trusting, which is our feminine nature. So I definitely feel that could be one of the aspects. And there could be infertility. So she may need to get back on track with her body and, go on natural supplements. Maybe she was on the pill for a long time. So getting back into tune once again, back into a feminine nature of, wow, what does my body need to become more fertile? Perhaps there's a hormonal imbalance or things like that. Perhaps the man she's with, she's not meant to have babies with him. That's a big one too. And I've met so many beautiful women who are heartbroken who couldn't fall pregnant, and I really feel for them because these women were so beautiful and they did everything. I mean, everything. And their man is like the love of their life, and they even tried IVF and all the natural ways and did everything but didn't fall pregnant. And I have so much love and respect for them. I can't imagine what that's like. And I truly feel that there's this unknown mystery of some women are meant to have babies and some are not, and we can't force it. Once again, we women are just like this earth, we are nature itself, and there's this divine mystery that we have no control over and no full understanding of. So I see it from a very like holistic perspective, that some women just aren't meant to have babies, and it's very interesting. And then there's some women that try really, really hard, do IVF, keep going, and then they end up falling pregnant. It's quite phenomenal, really. So there's so many different aspects. But yeah, I wonder, back in the day, I had this sense that it was never a thing. I imagine that everyone just had babies and life just carried on. But also,
super easy, quick, right?
Yeah. And this teenage, we have so many distractions. We have, Wi-Fi, toxic chemicals. So there's so many interruptions in our field and in the body as well. So yeah, that's what I feel anyway.
Wow, that's powerful. So you believe like not every woman is meant to be pregnant?
Yep.
Do you think that like more women, like when they surrender and they're like, okay, this is not for me, then usually it happens? Or what happened with that woman you said, like she ended up not having baby?
Yeah, she didn't fall pregnant. So yeah.
Wow. Okay, I also wanted to ask, because sometimes women cannot get pregnant with their men, right? And then they separate, and the next one she actually fall pregnant, right? Do you think it could be the case that maybe they are not meant to have it together? Or
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Because it's such a hard decision to make, right?
It's
well,
so
okay. I will jump to another one, and it's sex. So do you think that women, good subject always, do you think that women want more committed sex, or in a relationship, or more to just have a fun? And nowadays, when we don't really need men as much to get pregnant, of course we need their sperm, right? But we don't need them physically. Like, is it harder for men to get a woman because we don't need them that much?
Yeah, this is a great question. And I think that's one of the things that separated men and women a little bit in our era is women becoming so masculine and not really needing men, and men not knowing how to connect to women. And from my own experience and women that I work with, some of them just want to continue to be free and have fun, either single or open relationships, so having sex with, you know, many different men. And I know a lot of men that do that too. And then there's women that just want that committed one partner. And I think there's been so many labels for so long on what a relationship is meant to be. But when you get in a relationship with a man, woman and man, like, you never know what that relationship needs for it to become the best it can be. It just, each time you're with someone new, it's so completely different. So I feel that really, as women, even if we don't admit it, we need to feel a deep connection with a man when we have sex with him, even if it's just casual sex and we're not going to be in a relationship. I used to think when I was younger, oh, I can just have sex with anyone and it's not going to bother me. But it does, because we open our hearts when we have sex. We can't help it. And as women, we can get emotionally attached because we open up so much when we have sex with a man. So I truly believe that even if women haven't admitted it yet to themselves, women do need to have a really sacred, safe experience with a man, even if it's wild sex and they're not going to be in a relationship. There needs to be that sacred, respectful, honoring connection. Otherwise, you end up hurt. As a woman, you feel like you've given yourself away and you don't feel honored. It's because the woman wasn't honoring herself. So I made up these rules a while ago. I will only have sex with a man if I feel honored, respected, adored, and safe. Otherwise, I just won't. No matter how much sexual attraction there is, I just won't. So yeah, what do you feel about that?
It's powerful. Well, I guess we are quite similar, right? Because like to me in the past, also I was just like, oh, who cares? My pleasure. You know, like I just wanted to have fun. But then actually I found out that even if I would do that, like I wouldn't open it and I wouldn't enjoy as much as I can. Well, right, we can like enjoy a lot, right? We don't need to connect to enjoy. But the level of enjoyment is like completely different level, you know. So to me it's the same. Like I need to feel safe, I need to feel loved, I need to feel adored, I need to feel like super special and the only one. And just a second. And if I don't have it, I actually feel like I'm more hurting myself than getting any pleasure from it, you know. It's just like superficial, like nothing really good, nothing what I would want to repeat again in my life.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, I have tried to be even like waiting if he like with time, if he feels like, oh, maybe I can make her feel safe or something. Like I was like, no, you're not ready. I was like, no, give it time, you know. And then again, like, no, you're not ready. No, give it time. So as much as I was pushing myself back, I was hurting more and more, you know. So I feel as well that it's there. He gives it to you in this way. We give them something else. We give them the love so they can open as well, right? Because men have a problem to open their heart. They don't feel safe to do that. So if we make them feel safe, the level of connection is different as well. So it's not benefit just for us, it's benefit for them also.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. It's so beautiful. And, you know, even if men have troubles admitting it, men really do want that too. Deep down, they really want the same as us. It's just that everyone's at a different level of connection with themselves. That's all that it is. And we can only connect deeply to someone at the depth we've connected to ourselves. And we can only experience that high, beautiful level of love when we believe that we're worthy of that too. So yeah, it's so beautiful when we can have that connection with another, even if it's not, you know, a long-term relationship, because you can still have incredible experiences with each other, even if it lasts a month, when you just really respect and honor that human being, and you're not coming from ego. It's healing. Like, sex is really healing, and it can still be really wild and kinky, right? It can be all of it.
Yeah.
I love all of it, but as you respect that person and you make sure they feel safe, you can experience all of it. I know for me as a woman, I'm sure you can resonate in other women, the more safe you feel, the more wild you actually go within the bedroom. And I know for me, that's when I want to go even more kinky or see where my edges are, because I feel safe to do that with that man.
Absolutely. Thank you for thank you for sharing, because it's absolutely true and it's super important. And absolutely, if men makes us feel safe, we are more willing to do things we have never done before.
Oh yeah.
And it's like wow, you are really amazing because you made me to do this. And really, like, it's something like usually things we wouldn't do with everyone is just because we don't feel safe. Right? And also, like, of course, our mind is playing with us. Like, can I do this? Can I not? Is it acceptable? Is it not? It's so much work, but if we feel safe, I feel like we are more willing to do almost anything, really. And also, woman needs to be curious, right? Like, we are curious. We want to know how does it feel. Like, other people do that. Why do they do that? Is it good for me? Will I enjoy? Maybe no, maybe yes. Who knows, right?
Yes. And like, that's another beautiful thing. I think this conversation is just so important more than ever, because, you know, as all of us that are in this, you know, kind of work and personal development and have explored our sexuality, we know that sex is such a taboo that people are still uncomfortable to talk about it or even explore with their partner in the bedroom because of what they've been taught or conditioned. Like, I don't think anyone in the world has been able to escape the conditioning of sex, because, you know, when we were little, there was the internet, there was magazines, porn, movies, you know, music clips. And I really feel for a lot of men and women in what they had to experience growing up, and even now, if men and women are still struggling to love their bodies and accept their sexuality and get curious and come back into the sacredness. It's a big journey, because we've been taught that sex is wrong or it's dirty or that we need to treat each other in a certain way. And it breaks my heart to see that still happening. And if we can return back to sacredness and know that it's a part of our birthright, we all came here through sex. It's the most natural thing in the world. Like, it really is. And I feel like sex and money are two things that is so important to heal and to become really comfortable with, because both are, you know, they're tools to have a healthier humanity.
Yes, absolutely. Wow, thank you. Very powerful. I love it what you said. And also what you said about we need to feel actually love for our body, right? Because you have mentioned it, and it's so true that it's not just about men to make us feel safe, but it's also about our work. Like, if we feel safe and if we feel love and beautiful in our body, right? So it's also our work. Like, we shouldn't forget, like, we shouldn't be lazy and do the work as well.
Yes.
And really, like, there are practices, you know very well. If you want, we can mention some to actually really connect to ourselves and feel pleasure with ourselves. So then we can feel even more pleasure with men.
Absolutely. Thank you for speaking to that. That's so important. And, you know, I work with a lot of women, and I guide them in developing a pleasure practice for themselves. And I speak to men about this too, that it is really important for women to make that a priority and responsibility, because if women don't do that, they don't know what they want in the bedroom with the man, and then the man feels really, you know, he feels really incompetent that he can't provide her with pleasure, but it's because the woman is disconnected from her own pleasure. Because we can feel endless amounts of pleasure as women. And when we understand our bodies and when we can be with our man, it's just magic. And then the man feels, you know, like he can go so much deeper with that woman because she's ready to receive him, because she receives herself. So yeah, it is important for us to do that. It's not just up to the man. Yeah.
Absolutely. I was always curious about Tantra, really, because I feel like this is absolutely another level. Like porn is just like very shallow to me. Like nothing wrong about like being really wild and the animal instinct. I think it's absolutely perfect. But I feel that Tantra is getting us into like another level. And also we can manifest anything through sex, right? So I think like there are so many ways to manifest things, but I feel that sex is the most pleasurable and the strongest way to actually manifest anything into our life. Have you ever tried?
Yes, I have. And sex magic, you know, a lot of people call it sex magic, and it's a very real, tangible thing. And what you said so beautifully is what I believe too. It's the most pleasurable and powerful way to manifest, and the most natural way as well, because sexual energy is creative energy. It's one and the same. And it's like when I'm ovulating, I'm sure you can relate, and a lot of women watching this, you know, I feel so much sexual energy because, you know, my womb wants to make babies and I'm really turned on. And so it's that time where I'm like, okay, I'm not ready to make babies. I need to be creating, using this energy for creating something, even if it's art or something for me, or an offering to the world, or my work in my business. You know, that energy wants to create something. So when we have sex with someone, and even with ourselves, I did this without realizing what it was years ago with a beautiful man I was in a relationship with. And I just imagined, it's before I even learned about it, I was about to orgasm, and I imagined, that was a few years ago. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was me manifesting money. That's right. I imagined a specific amount of money in my bank account, and I'm not even kidding you. Like 5 hours later, I got this phone call of this woman saying yes to one of my offerings. And it was like almost the exact amount that I'd imagined. And she transferred it within 24 hours. I was like, whoa. And it's before I even realized what sex magic even was. And I was like, that is mind blowing. And I've done it many, many times. Yeah. It's amazing. And I've done it many, many times since. And sometimes it's a prayer for humanity. Like I literally just send out love, just imagining love going to every person around the world. I use it for that as well. It's very powerful, and anyone can do it with themselves or with their partner. It's incredible. Yeah.
Wow, thank you for sharing this. No, thank you for sharing this, and for you being so vulnerable and open, because I think it's what the world really need, right? Everybody's just about like shining bright and not really opening themselves. And I think that's how we learn as well, right? Because if we feel something and just like, oh, maybe it's just me, but then you hear other people talk about it, it's like, oh, maybe it's all right. Maybe it's other people who feel the same way. So thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. And thank you for sharing so courageously and vulnerably, you know, all the personal things that you're talking about, because you know, it impacts a lot of people, and they realize that, you know, it gives other people permission. So thank you.
Yes. Is there anything else you would like to add into this conversation?
Oh, I'm loving this conversation so much. You've asked so many amazing questions. Let's see. Okay, I'd love to ask you this question. What do you feel are like, I know there's so many traits that women love and want to have in a man, but to break it down to just like a few things, like maybe 5 or 6 things, and generally speaking for most women, what do you think in your experience in the work that you do with women, what are the most important traits that women are looking for in a man?
Well, you know, my word is a bit different to general word, but you know what I mean? Yeah. But to me, it also depends on what age we are, because if we are younger, we don't care much about his status, his money, his like whatever, really, right? Because we are just enjoying, we are having fun, all the world is here just for us, you know. But then when we when we get a bit older, I feel we need men, like firstly, like we need the connection, of course. You need to feel safe, of course, because if this, as we said, wouldn't be there, we feel like anytime we can be replaced, right? So totally, this is like number one, it has to be there. But also I feel, to me personally, I know people who don't need it. I feel like I need that man to be smart. I need to have good conversations. I need to feel I'm growing when I'm talking to him, right? Like he's opening my mind. I love when he actually proved me wrong, you know, because it's really turned on for me. I'm like, wow, I love you. Because it's opening my mind and I see my limits, you know. But also I feel like super important is how driven he is. How much he wants to do his business, and if he is financially fine, you know. Because even like some people would say like, oh, you're just after money, you know, blah blah blah. Like I think this is not true, because like from our past, if we get children, we need to know they are safe. We need to know we will have money to feed them. We need to know that we will have money to dress them, right? We will need to have money for them to go to college or whatever they want to study, right? So I feel that money are really important as well, because it's one of the things which makes us feel safe, and for the generation after us.
Yeah.
And also, of course, physical attraction, because you know, if we are meant to spend with that man for the rest of our life or whatever, we need to be attracted to them. So, or if it's just like short term something, you know, then especially like you need to be turned on by them.
Yeah.
So both ways. Yeah, I think this is it.
Thank you so much.
What do you feel about it?
I love that and really resonate with that too. And yeah, for anyone that watches this, I think it's so important, you know, when it comes to the money, it can be an uncomfortable conversation between a man and a woman, but it's actually a really, really important one, because, you know, if the man or the woman, you know, if there's a struggle within money, or there's not that financial security, then that just adds a lot of stress to the relationship. And, you know, a person that is financially secure, there's like a level that they've reached within themselves, that they can provide for themselves, and that they, you know, no matter what, they can go out and make things happen, because they've proven to themselves over and over again. You know, I'm thinking about entrepreneurs, and I say this, that no matter what's going on in the world, that they are, you know, focused and driven and connected to their purpose, and the money just is a representation of their belief in themselves. So it's, once again, it's an energetic thing, and the tangible form of that is in money. So yeah, I love all those things you mentioned, and I find that they're really important as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'd love to ask you one more question before we wrap this
Okay.
up. So it's the same question, but men. So what do you feel? And once again, of course, it depends on the age and everything like that. What do you feel men look for in women, like the most? Like we're speaking kind of like generally here, um, in this
Well,
conscious relationship kind of way. What do you feel men are wanting?
conscious relationship. Yeah, okay. That's big, good point.
Mm.
um, well, I am not man, so I can just guess. Really, I can just say from the conversation I have been having in the past, but I cannot say like 100% this is it,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
But from what I feel and I have heard from men who are conscious and working on themselves, it's number one, connection. So
Mm.
I have been hearing a lot. So like as same as for us, right? I
Mhm.
have been hearing a lot that like she's really beautiful. I really like could be turned on, but I'm not because I don't feel the connection.
Mm.
So yeah, so
Mm.
I feel that for men this is very important as well if we are talking about the conscious way. Because if it's someone who doesn't work on themselves as much, I feel this is not as important,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Also, I feel that they also need the physical attraction
Mhm.
because for men, it's maybe even more, could be even more important than for us.
Mhm.
Mm, what else they need? They like, I feel like they really like when we take care of them, you
Mm.
know, when we when we actually like see the little details, like if they are feeling fine, if they are feeling sad, like just to ask like if he wants to eat something, or just like really the little details, like to massage them when they feel tired after work, or
Mm.
just like the little details. I feel like it makes big difference for them.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I think all of those are absolutely on point. Because I know that you have a lot of beautiful male friends in your life, and yeah, the male
Mm,
friends in my life say the same thing. Like connection is the most important. Connection,
mm,
so same thing.
right.
And
Yeah.
yeah, physical attraction because men are very visual, so that's
Mm,
important. And what you were speaking to, taking care of them, like being nurturing and caring and compassionate, absolutely. I think that's really
mm,
important. And I feel a lot of the men I've got surrounding me, I feel like they really also want women that they can have like a deep kind of intellectual, spiritual connection with. So
mm,
like a woman that can have these different types of conversations with them.
yes.
Yeah, like a woman that is open-minded to like
Mm,
new possibilities, new ways of thinking, and even just talking about the galaxy, the cosmos, or the world, where it's not just shallow conversation, but you can actually have deep
yeah.
conversations with. I feel that's important for them too. Um, and I can't speak for all men as well, but I feel like a sense of humor is important. Like I know a lot of men don't like when women are, uptight that they can't even have a joke or laugh at themselves. I think I know for me it's important, but my past lovers have said that they've loved that about me, that even if I don't find all of their jokes funny, that I have that sense of humor, or women with a sense of humor that can laugh at themselves. I think that's yeah, another trait as well, that we don't take ourselves
Mm,
too seriously or we're too uptight.
yes. Yeah, I feel that this is turned on for us as well, right?
Yes, like that's one of my most like favorite traits, is like a sense of humor. Like you can laugh
Yeah.
together, because I feel you can get through so much when you can make
Mm,
each other laugh. Like, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. And also, I would like to add sex because I
Oh,
think
oh
that's
yeah.
good. good sex with connection, good sex, wild sex, passionate sex. I feel like if this is there, I think this is really important for them as well. Women, not all women are into sex, so I would say for us it's really important, but I cannot say for every woman.
Yeah.
But definitely I would say for majority of men, this would be important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for all of your sharings and all of your wisdom and all of your questions and just sharing, your perspective and your truth and your love. And yeah, you're an amazing, amazing woman. And I'm so grateful for you and all of the people that you support by being who you are and continually evolving and continually choosing yourself first and foremost. Like, that is such an inspiration to all people who meet you, because you really set high standards for yourself, and I really respect that and honor that about you. And you're just so magical, like in so many ways. And yeah, I love you to your core, all aspects of you. And yeah, thank you for this.
Thank you so much. And I would say exactly the same to you, because I really appreciate you so much. And I appreciate that you're a busy woman, like you like to do your things, you like to take care of yourself, you like to serve the people. And even that, like, you made your time for this video call, and I really appreciate it. And I can't wait for people to see it and to get the feedback from what they felt from it, And not everybody have to agree, and it's totally fine. And I love you so much. Like, I wouldn't change anything about you. And every time we call, we have so much love. It's just like all inside jokes, right? So sometimes I'm like, I was trying to be serious because you just said like one sentence. I was like, I never did to laugh because I see you, So I love our love. Every time I remember you, like like when I think about you, I always think about how beautiful heart you have, like how much you love everybody and everything around you, how deep you are connected with nature, and how beautiful. Like, what's amazing, like, you are not beautiful just in your heart, like you are physically beautiful, like you're a representation of the beauty. And you're so feminine. That's very inspiring for me, how feminine you are. And I keep watching you on your calls with women, and it's such an inspiration how, again, like, you're so vulnerable. You give all your wisdom and all your insight, like you're not holding and hiding anything back. You're just so transparent, and I feel like just this is healing so many people. And when you heal one person, it heals another people. So you're such a medicine for the world, really. And I have goosebumps now when I have it, when I speak it. And I love how you just like connect, like I feel that it's not always coming from your mind and from your experience. It's like when I watch you, I can also see that it's coming through you, So this is very beautiful and very inspiring for me. And then I love the jokes. But thank you for your time. I appreciate so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all of that. It's so beautiful and honoring, and I'm receiving that with so much joy and gratitude. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so touched.
Thank you.